Hello, hello. Welcome to today's live training on how to survive the holidays. First of all, thank you so much for joining me today. This is such a beautiful topic. Beautiful topic. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a really great topic that I'm super passionate about. And the reason I say that I'm super passionate about this topic is because this is where I used to struggle the most on my health and fitness journey. And to be honest, I had a client reach out to me this morning and she was talking about we're doing a Project Zero challenge right now. And so this Project Zero challenge is a holiday accountability challenge. And during this time frame, our goal is to provide you with accountability, to provide you with some tools to help you maintain your weight over the holidays. Because as you know, this is the time of the year where a lot of women end up gaining weight. And there's a lot of holiday parties, and you want to feel like you are able to partake in them. But a lot of times when you're dieting constantly and then you approach the holidays, you have that all or nothing mindset and feel as if you need to, just indulge ultimately. This is a really important conversation to have and to understand how to, navigate the holidays and ultimately stay on track. And for me, my goal is to maintain my weight over the holidays, not necessarily to come out of the holidays, with a six pack. Because after all, you know, the a six pack is not all it's cracked up to be. When I was lean, when I was at my leanest and did have a six pack, honestly, I was miserable because I had to eat super, super clean. And of course, this was back in the day before I had a lot of knowledge that I do have now. And of course, I was in that all or nothing, like super restrictive mindset. So it, I definitely feel like I have my hormones and my metabolism to a place where I can be leaner year round without causing a lot of damage. But it has taken some time. It's taken 2 years to be exact. It took me about 6 to 8 months to have my ultimate transformation. And I have been able to, maintain that weight loss since, so for about a year and a half, by incorporating a lot of the things that I teach you guys. So today we're gonna talk about the Fit Life Tribe Holiday Guide. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you super quick. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I understand you guys are all very, very busy. So thank you for spending 15, 20 minutes with me. I do love to keep these calls as short and sweet as possible because I know that you all have a lot on your plate and you are very, very busy women. Okay, so this is the Fit Life Tribe Holiday Guide to Holiday Habits. And so we're going to kind of talk about this first, but the main points, the things that I want you to think about today are focusing on what matters most. And I always say, the holidays are a time to celebrate, relax, and just be present with your loved ones because that is the most important part of the holiday season. So when you're constantly stressed about what you're eating, you aren't able to really sit back and relax and focus on what is most important during this time. So that is my number one thing is to let you know that to focus on what matters first or matters most. There we go. Okay, so next up, these are the tips that you can take with you and help you stay on track over the holidays. And I know I did a call very similar to this one back in, probably a couple of weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving. But same thing applies, as we move forward all the way through the holidays. So again, always, always front load your day. So think about this. Fiber and protein. These two things are going to keep you fuller longer. Not only are they going to keep you fuller longer, but if you eat fiber and protein with your meals, with your Christmas dinner, and let's say you're having higher carb and sugar intake, this is going to help stabilize those blood sugars instead of having them spike throughout, right after your meal. So very important. Always, always make sure that you load your plate with some fiber and protein. And then, of course, start off your day with a breakfast full of veggies and protein. This is going to help you, at least start your day off right and come to the evening dinner prepared and not being super hungry. So next up, be mindful and slow down. So again, just let me see if I can go like this. Oh, too big. Oh, sorry guys. I was gonna try and make it so you can see the whole page. There we go. Okay, so be slow, be mindful while you are eating. If you're just sitting there mindlessly eating, you become unaware of how much you're actually eating. So, be mindful, have those meaningful conversations, but also savor each bite as you are eating it, and aim to stick to our one plate rule. So our one plate rule is it really helps you enjoy and be able to partake in all of the amazing foods that are present during Christmas and during those festive holiday parties. So slow down, savor every single bite, and just really be present and enjoy the conversations, enjoy the people that you are surrounding yourself with. And of course, always stick to that one plate rule. So remember, drink lots and lots of water as well. That is going to be one of your secret sauces or secret weapons during the holidays. All right. So moving forward, develop your mindset. I feel like this is one of the most important concepts when it does come to the holidays. And this is something that I mentioned to a lot of individuals when I had several people message me after Thanksgiving and they are like, I overate. I did follow the one plate rule, but then I overdid it on dessert. These things are going to happen and that's completely fine. All that matters is how can you improve? How can you be a little bit better next time? So that's where I feel like just focusing on how can I be 1% better next holiday, or like for Christmas versus Thanksgiving, or how can I be better next Thanksgiving versus this Thanksgiving. So I'm always thinking about the 1% rule when it comes to birthdays, to traveling, to vacations, and to holidays. This is a great thing. You can do this in your workouts as well. How can I be 1% better in my workout today than I was yesterday? Maybe that's increasing the weight a little bit. Maybe that's doing one more rep. We read the book Power of One More by Ed Mylett, and it's a phenomenal book. I guess it's kind of like the 1% better mentality, but it's one more. The power of one more, when it comes to your workouts, how can I have one more exercise or one more rep, right? So always pushing yourself just a little bit further than what you normally would do. Coming back to the 1% better mentality, I think, right here I say eat one less pie slice, switch a mimosa for a glass of water, eat only one plate of food each meal. So these are just some examples of how you can use that 1% better mentality. So for those of you that messaged me and said, I had way too much dessert, maybe that, think about that for as we approach December and as we approach the Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve and all of the parties that you'll be partaking in, and think about how you did for Thanksgiving and how can you just be 1% better. And maybe that's with your desserts. Maybe you're like, oh, I did so good with the one plate rule and then I overdid it on desserts. So instead, maybe I have like a half a serving of multiple desserts so that you can still get it all in, if that's what you're looking forward to. So water, you guys, is key. So I said, you've heard it before and you'll hear it again here. Always be focusing on drinking more water, and not just drinking more water, but making sure that you're putting some electrolytes in there as well. That way your body can actually absorb and use the water. Because if we're just drinking water, that can actually deplete us of vitamins and minerals. But if we're adding in those electrolytes, it gets into our cells at the cellular level. So, yes, it's important to drink water, but think about that. Make sure to add some sort of electrolytes to your meals. So here are just a few benefits of drinking more water. It reduces the feeling of hunger and bloating. So a lot of times when individuals have that signal, that hunger signal, it could just be dehydration. So make sure to drink some water if you're feeling hungry. If you still feel hungry, then that's an actual hunger sign. Make sure to go eat something. Water helps aid in digestion and nutrition absorption. It improves your mood. It makes your skin glow. It increases your brain function, and it boosts energy better than caffeine, and it soothes stiff joints. One thing I don't have on here is water can actually increase your metabolism by up to 30%. So just make sure you're getting plenty in to drink. So one plate rule, we kind of already talked to this a little bit. I mentioned this when I talked about, mindful eating. So again, just making sure to stick every meal that you have, make sure to have some fiber and some protein, and that's just going to help regulate that, or stabilize your blood sugars. Now, dealing with others' opinions, and I talk about this a lot, just because, and to be honest, I've never had, I'm trying to think about my family, and it's actually been a long time. We used to do big extended family get-togethers, and there was always mass amounts of food. Now that we're all grown up, it feels like we have smaller get-togethers, like with my parents, and then my siblings and all of the grandkids, right? But before, it used to be aunts and uncles and grandma and grandpa and all of the grandchildren. It was like 30 to 40 people, lots and lots and lots of food. Now it's, goodness, it's still 20 to 30 people, but it's different, right? Like your family evolves and changes. And so does the family get-togethers and family gatherings. So when dealing with other people's opinions, really think about your goals and making choices that really align with your goals. That can come with that judgment. So this is where I just believe it's really important to just know how you're going to respond, and kind of set your standards and follow through with those as well. And then again, when it comes to specific foods, I always come back to the hell yes versus hell no. So if it's a hell yes food, if it's like Aunt Sally's pie versus versus store-bought cookies, I would definitely go with, the homemade pie over these store-bought cookies, because you can get those at any time you feel like you absolutely need them. So that's kind of my approach when it comes to other people's opinions, or, people pushing food on you. Because there are people that do that, and that has been something, and the reason I bring these things up are because these are things that clients or women have brought to me, and they're like, I feel like I have to eat this food because so and so made it, and they were like, you can't leave without eating, whatever dish it is. All right, so come back. Oh, here we go. Be firm. So this is kind of back to dealing with other people's opinions. So again, make sure you set those standards beforehand. Be firm, but don't make it a huge deal. Remember, their opinions are a reflection of themselves, and always have a comeback. And I'm not saying like a sassy comeback, but just let them know, like, these are my goals, and I'm saving dessert for later, or I've had enough to eat today and I feel really good. I don't want to go overboard, or something like that. And they will respect you for just speaking your truth. Again, some more tips. Think about if the situation was reversed. Remember how good it feels to eat in moderation, and talk positively about what you're doing and why you're doing it. That comes back to your rules not rules, but your goals, and sticking to your standards, having those standards and sticking to them. And then if you're sharing your goals, for example, if somebody says, they comes to you and they're like, why are you eating like that? Normally you have 2 plates and a whole plate of dessert. Why are you just having 1 plate? And you're like, oh, my trainer has me on this diet and I can only eat 1,400 calories, which most women I'm sure I'm working with are eating more than 1,400 calories. However, let's just say that was the case. If you approach it that way, then of course they're gonna not be as respectful of your goals. But if you're like, oh man, this year I'm really focusing on my health and I'm super excited about the journey that I'm on. So far I've had, these wins, whether it's a scale win or, my clothes are fitting better, I have less bloat, I'm having more control over the holidays. Like, talk about the positive things that are happening in your life right now. And that is really going to help them see why you're doing what you're doing and why you're so passionate about it. Um, so this is another great option. So of course, we already talked about the one plate rule. However, there are different ways, there's different routes that you can take when it comes to these specific holiday get-togethers. And again, always come back to your goals. What does that look like to you? So option one, this is where you stay completely consistent with your protocol. You hit your macros, 90 to 100%. And there's no flexibility. You're trying to stay as consistent to your macros as possible. Of course, I say that I don't fully recommend this. I love having that flexibility and being able to enjoy myself on the holidays. Option number two, this is a great way. This is a great approach if you're looking to still see progress, but have a little bit more flexibility. So this is where you have a calorie goal. Let's say your calorie goal is 1,850 calories and your protein goal is 100. You still track your food, but you make sure that you're under or at 1,850 calories and still hit your protein goal. So that's a great option. Calories only, another way to have a little bit more flexibility. You may see some progress with this when you're tracking just your calories, but again, still, like for me, one of my non-negotiables is hitting my protein goal. So that is a non-negotiable for me. However, option three is still a great option. And then option number four, this is an untracked day. So this is where, that one plate method comes in. Maybe you plan your free day or your free meal to for these specific get-togethers. So if you're on a fairly strict protocol, let's say right now you're doing our metabolic reset method and you're in the second phase, you actually get a free untracked meal every week. This protocol is a little bit more I don't want to say restrictive, but there are some more guidelines that you're following, but you do get this free untracked meal. So you plan that day accordingly. So I had a few clients reach out to me and let me know like, hey, Thanksgiving is my free day and I'm going to use it as such, but I'm still going to stick to the one plate rule and I'm still going to focus on hitting my protein goal. So voila. So the thing is, when you do go untracked, I like to call it like a free-for-all day. If you have a free-for-all day, just be prepared that it may set you back just a little bit and to just get back on track the next day. So it's not going to cause you to lose or gain 5 pounds of unwanted weight. A lot of times it is just a little additional water weight, and getting right back on track, moving your body, a lot of those things can get that scale or, get you feeling back to where you were originally. So move when you can. This is just an additional tip. What are some things you can do? Quick walks, stay active after eating to help aid in digestion. So that's when that walk is really, really important, and add movement into your holiday plans. So maybe, for example, Ken was home over the week. So we went ice skating and that was a lot of fun. After dinner, we took our daughter, we went and ice skated, had some activity. We like to take our dog for walks. That's another great way to get out and just be active. So just a few additional tips for you guys. Stay off of the scale. If that is a trigger for you, just avoid it for a few days. It's going to be a-okay. Give yourself a few days to get back on track and then go ahead and weigh yourself. And then of course, bring 1% better swaps. So if you decide you want to bring some of your own healthier options to contribute to these parties, that's a great way to help you stay on track. And okay, just some final takeaways here. Remember what the holidays are all about. What's really important to you? Remember that even being just 1% better is an improvement, and change is not overnight. So that's huge. That is so huge. This is just one of the many free guides that we have for you. So if you are interested in more free resources, feel free to join us at the Fit Life Tribe. And inside the Facebook group, we have more free resources for you. Or right now we do have our Fit Life Collective, which is 50% off. So it's a great option. Cami, you're the only one on today. Do you have any questions for me? Hi.
There we go. I came late
I
too.
know.
Wow, good job. I don't think I have any questions. I just want to say I love all the things.
Thank
Yep.
you.
I learn something every time I get on here, so
Awesome. I love it. And I love all of your support. And just, the more you get on here, the more takeaways you're going to get, the more you'll be able to just be successful and stay on track with your personal goals as well. So thank you for joining me. You have access to this resource,
yes.
right?
You're welcome.
Whoop,
I hope so.
you do. It's in Project Zero too.
Okay.
So I
It's
can
in the
go.
it's Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Awesome.
Perfect.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
How was your Thanksgiving? Here, actually, let me.
Yeah, stop recording.